So today I want to share with you a little insight I had about these issues, these problems, these challenges that we have inside of us and what to do with them. Do we go to psychotherapy and hypnotherapy and go deep inside and really try to fix them, to heal them, to bring light into the darkness and try to fix our whole being as an aspect of it? Our personality changes and we become a much better person, a much happier person. Is this the point of why we have issues? And so that they can be fixed, so that we can experience a healing experience. And so the insight I had was that this is a never-ending process. That, if we have some form of abuse or some form of pain or neglect or abandonment or insecurity that we've had for 20, 30, 40 years or more, and we heal a majority of it, there's still going to be a little tinge of that somewhere inside. It's as if it's not meant to be completely healed. And if you've done a lot of work on yourself, if you've really, gone into different healing modalities and looked deep inside, you'll find that there's an aspect of this that's very true, that there's always going to be some part of you that still remains kind of hooked into that wound, or into that insecurity, into that issue that's locked in our tissue. So what to do? How to deal with this challenge? And what I found is that the reason why we actually have issues is not just to experience a healing process. That's part of it. The reason is that it forces us to take on a completely new paradigm of experiencing reality. Okay? It forces us to go on our spiritual path. It makes sure that we go deep beyond the mind, beyond the intellect, beyond the rational reasoning part of ourselves, and go deeper beyond the emotions as well, into the spiritual connection with our soul, our spirit, our connection to God, or source, or universe. And so there's nothing really that's going to fix those issues, because we're just using the mind to fix the mind. And so it's just putting a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid, and it's just we have layers and layers and layers of good positive thoughts laying on top of all the layers of negative thoughts. And so we have this collection of good and bad thoughts, happy thoughts and not so happy thoughts. And so what are we going to do with that? They're going to cancel each other out, and then what's left? Okay, we drop into a place of pure being, of just acceptance of everything as it is, of the witnesser, the consciousness, this divine presence, who we already are. Okay, so this is the whole reason actually that we have problems, that we have challenges in our relationships, and these wounds, these abandonment, or neglect, or self-hate, or not feeling worthy, or whatever it is. There's a million different reasons why we feel crap. And so just to accept the fact that is not necessarily there to be fixed just loosens a lot of heaviness on the load, that we don't have to spend lots of money and time fixing ourselves, although that can make us feel like we're going somewhere and we're having some progress. It can make us feel good. We can create a positive self-esteem on top of the negative self-esteem, and we can just keep climbing that ladder of esteem, letting the low self-esteem push us up a little bit higher. And yet, really, there's no end to it. We're never going to find peace. With self-esteem, it's like it's still the ego. Okay, so it's a lose-lose situation actually, when you're just dealing with ego and the mind. When you're living in that container of trying to fix the mind, with the mind, or trying to fix the ego with the mind, trying to fix these darknesses inside of us with the mind. It's never going to end in any place that brings you total peace. Okay? So we have to transcend the mind. That's the only real true path that I've found to freedom. And it's really simple. It's really beautiful. It's awesome. And it just simply comes through dropping the mind. By letting go of this need to fix ourselves, need to change anything. And it just comes through acceptance. Yeah, we've got darkness and we've got light. Everybody's got it. And yet, what's beneath that? What happens when we let all of our issues and problems and all our good attributes merge together and become one? What's that meeting like when those two become one? And what's left? Who's the soul? Who's the spirit? Who's the pure awareness that is here, right now? And so this is the reason why you have issues. It's so that it can push you to go into the positive aspect, so that you loop back around and you find this sense of source, this connection to your source again. And this is where real freedom is. This is where the only true freedom is when you find this resting place, in this place of just total acceptance of all of your aspects, all of your darkness and your light, and the meeting and merging of them both, and finding this place of just saying, wow, I am all of this and something even greater that's allowing for all of this to occur. So it's huge. It's this idea will save you so much time, energy, headaches, money. It just will allow you to find freedom so much quicker by saying, okay, just to dive into my spiritual nature. And yeah, you may need to explore years of therapy before you can come to the conclusion that it's unfixable, that these problems are going to be there forever, and there's no real way to actually heal them other than transcending them completely. It's like Einstein says, you can't solve a problem at the same level it was created at. You have to go to a whole other paradigm. So we can't fix the mind with the mind. We have to, in some way, fix the mind with the heart. Something beyond the mind. Something that speaks from a place of just pure love and pure presence. And so, this is my gift for you today, is just to stop fixing yourself. To go beyond the issues in your tissues and just let them be what they are, and let the positive aspect that they're pushing you towards, let that be what it is too. And come to this place of saying, what's deeper than all of this? Who's that? What's the spiritual soul like, to just rest in that place? And just to own the fact that this is who you truly are. That's the real joy. That's the real freedom. That's my gift to you. So, thank you for listening.